Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. I have a great article here from Business Wire. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So I wanted to talk a bit more about this new COO position that T-Mobile has filled. I want to say, right, for those of you who may not be aware, this is not a position that they just randomly created. This is actually the position that Mike Sievert was in before he became the CEO. So Mike Sievert was the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, when he came on board of T-Mobile. And then he transitioned into the COO role, which then made him the successor of John Legere, for those of you who remember that transition. So it's clear as day that this person is going to be the replacement of Mike Sievert. He's going to be the successor. Gopalin, hope I'm saying that right. He's going to be Mike Sievert's successor as the CEO role. Right? I'm just stating the obvious, but of course it's speculation until it actually officially gets announced. But you can see the transition pyramid, right? If you go by history, the COO role was the one to replace, right? Just like, as an example, AT&T put Jeff McElfresh into the COO role because he's the expected successor to John Stankey. So this right here is no different. And you can already see it, right? All of the senior level team, the senior executive level team has to report to him, and he reports to Mike Sievert. They're not reporting directly to Mike Sievert anymore. They're all now reporting to the new COO, which is Mike Sievert's successor. Now we just, we can speculate as to when that might happen. Some have told me it's going to be after the U.S. Cellular closure. That deal closes. I doubt it. Mike's contract is good through 2028. That gives the new COO time to really learn the ins and outs of the business and everything else. Now, what does this necessarily signal, this person that they're putting in the COO role, right? He's going to be the one to determine the future for T-Mobile. T-Mobile guided at the Capital Markets Day, they guided through 2028. So that's still all Mike Sievert. After 2028, it's going to be him if it doesn't happen sooner. So what's the next phase of T-Mobile really look like, right? We never really discussed it. And I think based on the success they've enjoyed and had on wireless, it's got to be wireline. Right now, as to how that happens, I mean, we can speculate in videos all day long. I can say it's cable time, that they're going to buy the cable player. I'm speculating, of course. And then we could make the suggestion that they're going to continue to buy the small JV players and just ramp up on fiber. But at some point, right, the leasing has to stop. I'll be very honest. If you're going to bring on a person that's familiar with the European convergence model and he has expertise, at some point you want to own and operate. So that's what I think the next move is, to own and operate. And you need people in charge that know how to own and operate wireline. You have to almost, because structurally you're becoming like Verizon and AT&T. So you have to have a whole section that's just pure wireline, but you still need people in place that know how to get you there. So you have the entire board of DT, you have management at DT that can handle this. This guy knows it very well. So that's the next phase, in my opinion, is wireline for T-Mobile. And that gets a much bigger emphasis beyond 2028. They're still going to do FWA because it brings in revenue and profits. They're, of course, still going to do wireless. That's the bread and butter. But they're going to branch off into wireline. TV didn't work. And I don't want to say the wireless market is going to get saturated. It's already saturated. But at some point, there's only so much you can take. T-Mobile is growing very quickly. Now Verizon is fighting back. They are competing. But T-Mobile is growing very quickly. So over the next few years, they're going to grow into a nice size of market share on enterprise. And then they're going to grow in small market and rural areas. And eventually they're going to kind of get stuck because they are focusing on growth, growth, growth. They just want to grow. And that's what the market and the street, that's what they're looking for with T-Mobile. They're not looking at the financials. They're looking for growth. If the financials are down a little bit, if you guys have seen that in the past, the stock's not really affected much. But if they slow down in growth, the stock drops immediately. So now you have to transition the company into an income stock based on income. And that you have to have another, diversified portfolio, and you got to branch off into wireline. So I think that's what this COO is going to take this company through. Once he becomes the CEO, he's really going to take T-Mobile into the wireline space in a much broader and bigger scale. And it has to come with a big cable player, right? Frontier's off the table. Verizon is buying Frontier. The small JV players, they're just not going to get T-Mobile to that scale. They're not going to do it. They can, like I said, you buy one or two, you have to wait 2 years to get approval. And you do that every time. It's just get it over with. Buy one big player, get it through the regulatory bodies, get it across the finish line, integrate, and then you're done. So, I mean, there could be some other potential targets. I mean, we talked about Comcast. We talked about Charter. Some people have brought up Lumen. I saw that in the comment yesterday. If you're going to do Lumen, you might as well buy cable. Lumen has fiber. I understand that. But I saw a document not too long ago, 69% of their grid is still copper. So you're still buying into a smaller footprint, and it has copper in it. If you get Charter, you're buying a big footprint that you can sell your wireless into, that you can upgrade to fiber if you choose, or if not, you just keep running the DOCSIS. That'll be up to you, but it's something that T-Mobile is seriously considering. I'll leave it at that. Like I said in previous videos, I've seen documents. T-Mobile they're in meetings. That's all I'll say. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Live. See y'all in the next one. Peace.